Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is the 7032, the Object 7032. It's a Tier 8 Soviet double-barrel premium heavy tank. It's located on the north spawn of Pilsen. It's under the command of Zyriakster, and he's in platoon with Norman 109 in the Bisonte C45 alongside him. Now, this tank has a 122mm gun. Well, two of them actually. Capable of 780 alpha or 390 alpha each, and they're capable of firing 3 different ways. Usual traffic jam at the start of the game. Okay, well, how can they be fired? Well, you can fire cyclically, which means you actually fire a round, wait for the barrel to reload, and then you fire again. And what that does is it fires each barrel alternately, but it only takes a standard reload time of 11.98 seconds, or in fact slightly less than 11.98 seconds. Or you can fire sequentially, which means you fire the first round and then before it's reloaded you fire another one into an enemy that's still there, and that way you can get 2 shots on the target. But the penalty is that it takes slightly longer to reload because you have to reset the first reload all over again. Or you can fire both guns together at the same time, in which case there's a slight delay before they start to reload, and they both have to reload individually one after the other. So there's a 5-second delay followed by an 11.98 second reload. In fact, in this tank we can see the reload time is 22.8 for both barrels. In fact, he's got it down to 11.4 per barrel. Plus, of course, there's that 5-second penalty if he fires both. Now, Zyriakster's nicely bouncing some of the rounds that are coming at him from that Carnarvon. And there's an Object 7032 on the enemy team over there as well. Okay, there's that Centurion. Oh, it's a Carnarvon, actually. In fact, there's 2 Carnarvons there. And there's a Malshan over there as well. Okay, so he's got 2 barrels now. He could fire both of them together, but he elects to only fire one, and he's firing them cyclically, so he's letting them reload before he then fires the next barrel. That gives him much more DPM if you do it that way than if you fire them together. But the burst of firing both barrels together can have a significant effect upon the enemy. The only problem is if you're poking around a corner and you do fire both barrels, then you have to make sure your gun barrels are clear of any obstruction, otherwise you might fire one of those rounds directly into the rubble. He gets a round into the Malshan, but he did take some damage from the Malshan for HE, 190 hit points lost. But he's managed to get 804 hit points of damage done so far. Just waiting for that last round to go in. When this tank first came out, in fact, some of the contributors were actually curious as to why it was taking so long to reload the barrels. But Jingle said, well, there's 2 loaders, so surely it shouldn't take so long. What can they both be doing? Well, I think I worked it out that it's 2-part ammunition. If they're loading one shell, that loader has to then first load the shell, and then the other loader has to hand in the charge to actually put into the barrel, because the loaders are on either side. They're manning one gun. But if only one gun's fired, then the one loader has to load in the shell and the other one hands in the cartridge case and it goes in to fire the shell. And if they're both fired, then they both got to get the shell out, and then they both got to get the cartridge case sequentially. So first one's doing it and then the other one's doing it. So first they handle a shell, pass that to their team, that load that, then they receive the charge from the other teammate and load that in, and then they reverse rolls. He did get around into the side of that T29 for 401, a high roll. I know it sounds a bit complicated, but it was the only explanation I could come up with which would explain why it was taking so long to actually load the guns. Now you can see in that one he fired sequentially, and that means he's got 2 shells to load, and they're just completing the second shell now. Okay, his platoon mate Bisonte, Norman, he's gone around the corner, he's found a Carnarvon, and he's killed it. Or did he? No, it was actually the M53, M55 that killed that Carnarvon. But now there's another Carnarvon there, and Norman's going... Oh no! Norman's lost his head. He's had it blown off. Oh dear. He got 1 round into the Carnarvon. Can he get the second one in? No, he didn't. So he's now got a longer reload cycle, remember, because he's got to load them sequentially, both of them, before he's ready. Okay, he's got 1 shell into the Carnarvon and that finishes him off. But now he's got the long reload. 22.8 seconds. There's the first one in. Oh, the Object 7043 is around the corner. Okay, we're going to see an EBR moving up through the factory. No, it's just a little too late to get that EBR. He didn't go into the factory, and in fact the enemy has occupied that factory now. He can't go back around the corner either, because there's a possibility that the enemy might be covering that line of fire. The best thing he can do at the moment is wait here until one of them pokes their heads out and then blow it off. In fact, at this point, Norman's wreck actually becomes beneficial to Zyriakster because it protects him from being shot in the rear. Okay, there's the 7032. Took 1 round and bounced the other one. Goes for the second shot. Is he waiting? No, he gets it in. 422. But he has to go around the corner now because he's in the long reload. And that's the thing about the 7032. You do have a long reload, and if you don't have cover, you can get badly damaged. But luckily, that 7032 was taken out by Albarask, and that frees up Zyriakster to go after the other enemies. And he's heading south to have a go at the Wizzy 111 Model 4. Or Wizzy 111-14. There he is. Hello. Right, 1 shot in. Go for the RAM. Gets a bit out of the RAM. Just waiting for the next shell to go in. In fact, I'd say just fire. Yeah, he got him. He's gone. So that's Zyriakster's second kill. Oh, took a round from the EBR. That was not helpful. That's a 90mm round. 258 hit points lost. Almost got his second round in. The EBR just took some damage. I wonder who actually did that damage to him. Just waiting for... There he is. There he is. Gets a nice shot into him. That was a really good reverse side scrape on the corner. And it worked. He got the EBR. Took him out. You can see the EBR was firing heat at him. He took that first round when he was side on, but the second round he was at such an acute angle, the heat round just couldn't work its way through and it bounced off him. GW Tiger, yes, gets the first one in, and he goes down to the M53, M55. There's a Super Hellcat up there, and he can fire that one in. Yes, gets the hit, but he's now in long reload. Just waiting. That's the thing about the 7032. It takes a long time to reload, and the game's over because that was the last enemy alive, and one of our tanks was lost in battle. I think that's the IS-6B, who was AFK. That's the first battle done, and we'll see the end of battle results after the next battle. The second battle in our video is actually on the Halluf map, and the commander of the tank is OrcaSpiderJay. Game on. When he's got that absolutely dreadful camo skin from last year. I think it was mandarins in yogurt or something like that. I don't know where Wargaming comes up with these ideas, but they look absolutely dreadful. They really do. There you go. No accounting for taste sometimes. There were some fairly good ones this year, or rather some that were okay, and others that were, well, not so okay. Apparently the Panda one did not go down well, but there you go. So the 7032, same again, 2 guns, capable of firing sequentially, cyclically, or both together. I think there's some people have actually mapped their double shoot button to a different button on either their gaming mouse or another button on the keyboard, because it's actually quite difficult to hold down the fire button and wait for the double barrel gun to go off and then have to release it and start all over again. If you want to fire a double shot, it's nicer to actually have it on a different button to ensure that, yes, you do know you are going to fire just 2 rounds or 1 individually. Okay, 53 TP, a short distance away. He's inching his way forward. Oh, takes a round from a GSOR 1008, the new premium British tank destroyer. That was an APCR round that he fired. And remember, he's got 3 more. Well, he's now missing some hit points as well. 413. Go for the body of the tank. And this time round, actually, it gets hit into a VK3001P. Tier 8 game with Tier 6 tanks in it. The VK, unfortunately, was the person who was sitting there when the round that was meant for the ANKYL went into him instead, and he's going to be out the game with the very next shot. Now, he did fire those 2 sequentially, so obviously he's got to wait longer for the reload. But the VK is now dead. Now we've got a Wizzy 1201 GFT directly behind us, kind of blocking us at the moment, but I think OrcaSpiderJay is aware of that. He's got 1 barrel loaded, waiting for the second one to go in. KV-85 moving forward, and we can see his cupola. Are we going to go for the cupola? Well, that one bounced off the T-3485, unfortunately. And our shell did the same. Can he get a shot on that guy? Yes, he did. The 53 TP loses a high roll for 426. Now, what's next? There's that T-3485. Not much of a cupola on the T-3485, but the KV-85 definitely has the large cupola, which is much easier to hit. There's that GSOR again. And the ANKYL, we've got 2 barrels ready. Can't double barrel shoot them though at the moment because that VK is actually in the way. But we could probably hit that GSOR though. And he does. Nice high roll, 436. And he's completed whatever mission he was supposed to complete in the heavy tank. I can probably tell you that straight away. It was HT12. And he's killed the GSOR. HT12, he had to get 2,000 hit points of damage, and he's done that now. Okay, pushing forward. That Wizzy is very low on hit points. And the gun depression on this tank is absolutely dreadful. It's one of the bad points about the 7032. You roll over a bump while you're trying to aim at someone, all of a sudden the gun kicks up in the air and you can't get the gun to lay on the target. So, yeah, it's actually easier when you're on flat land like that, and he took out the T-3485 and he blocked the shot from the ANKYL, but in order to get his guns to bear, he's going to have to get closer and use that wall correctly. He takes out the KV-85. He's got 1 shell ready, but he wants the other one for the ANKYL. He wants to do it cyclically if he can. Okay, get the gun to bear properly. That's it, into the hull. Gets 1. Now, can he get the second one in? Gets behind the guy. That will work. He's waiting for that shell to load, and then he's going to shoot. Yes, got him. Okay, push around the corner now. There's a 2 tank advantage, and potentially he's got the high caliber. The Lurver managed to get around into his track, but he's waiting for the round to load. So he's maximising his DPM. And there goes the Lurver. He didn't get the kill, the KV-2 did, but he's got 2 shots ready to roll now. So 5 kills for OrcaSpiderJay. If he can get another one, he's got a top gun and he can see the Hummel in the distance. He fluffs the first shot. Can he get the second one in? No, couldn't get that one on target. The Hummel's moving as fast as he can to get behind cover. And unfortunately he does get killed. There's still 4 enemies out there. One of them's on the other side of the map, I think, over the side of the valley. Potentially he's got that high caliber, as I said before. He's got 20% of the enemy hit pool, but there could still be somebody else who's got slightly more damage than he has. So he needs to keep up his fire rate. Now there's 2 tank destroyers still out there, an Su-152 and a Hellcat. The IS is on the other side of the valley. That means there's a Skoda T-25 and we don't know where he is. I suspect that we're going to find that one of the tank destroyers is around. Yes, it's the Hellcat. There we go. Gets 1 round in, 315, a low roll. Blocks the 90mm that comes back. And he's trying to chase that Hellcat down because he wants that kill to get a top gun. That gun depression is a problem again. He's locked on. Can he get it? Yes! Top gun. And there's the Skoda. He's waiting for the reload to go through. There's Arty helping out. The Arty in this game is an M44 and he's a good player. The Skoda's running for it. Not going to help him if the Arty gets hold of him. And he's run up against the wall. Oh, OrcaSpiderJay misses the chance to get that kill. He could have fired sequentially there and got the kill on the Skoda. That Skoda's determined to get away. And he killed himself in the process. Or did he? No, the Dickermax on our team got the kill. Wasn't his fault that he died. And that means there's only 1 enemy remaining, the Su-152. And, well, I suspect that he's actually chickened out and decided to run for the coast. OrcaSpiderJay. Well, he spotted him. There he is. He actually went down this path. And we've got him by the rear. 1 round into his rear. High roll for 444. He's going down the edge of the valley, so we're not going to get enough shots. And the Su-100M1 on our team finishes him off for a victory. And guns up. This is the end of battle report for the first battle on Pilsen with Zyriakster, and he got an ace tanker in his Object 703 version 2, and it's the first time he's ever had his ace in this vehicle. He managed to get a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points in his own vehicle, a shell-proof, a duelist, a hand of God, and he also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 6 in total. And on top of that, he got a steel wall for blocking the most damage in the game, and a Confederate for hitting more enemy than anyone else on his team in that game as well. Win 8 of the battle was 6,553, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score for that game. Well, he did get the highest damage on his team, but not the high damage overall. That went to the Wizzy 11114, got a high caliber for 4,424. He was only a short distance behind with 4,333. Oh, so close, but so far. And when it came to kills, he had the highest number of kills in the game, but he shared it with the M53, M55 and the T49. They all had 3 kills each. The most scores on the enemy team was their Type 62, got 2 kills, but nobody else got more than him. And when it came to base XP, it's Zyriakster. Yes, he got 1,503 base experience points in that one. 949 went to the Brask. 867 went to the AMX 1375. Zyriakster was the only one who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. And if we look at Norman, where are you? There you are, Norman. In the Basante, he got 1,027 hit points of damage, didn't get any kills, but he got 612 XP. So he did take part in the battle and got some damage, but not quite as much as Zyriakster. Zyriakster fired 22 rounds, got 17 direct hits and 13 penetrations, damage of 4,333 hit points, of which 667 were at more than 300 meters. He received 14 hits from the enemy, only 2 of which were penetrations, 9 non-penetrations and 4 hits by way of splash damage as well. damage of 2,790 hit points were blocked by armour. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 3, did 894 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 127,208 credits, got 63,604 for personal reserves and 48,339 for holiday ops, total of 239,150 credits altogether. And after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, and he just fired standard ammo throughout, he ended up with 203,689 credits profit from one battle. 2,254 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 226 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 4,735 experience points altogether. So a really good game by Zyriakster. Congratulations on your first ace tanker in the Object 703 version 2. Let's have a look at the second battle. Well, that was the one with OrcaSpiderJay on Halluf, and he also got an ace tanker in that game. He got a Hand of God, a Spotter, a Bruiser, a Duelist, a Fire for Effect and a Shell Proof out of the game. He also picked up a Steel Wall just as Zyriakster did, and this time round he did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, on top of which he actually got a Top Gun as well for getting at least 6 kills. He ended up with 6. He possibly could have got more, but unfortunately, yeah, the 703-2 is not the fastest of tanks, and therefore he wasn't able to get into the corner to get the kills, and sometimes the tanks that he was aiming at were taken out by other people before he could finish them off. Anyway, if we look at the team score, we can see that he did get the highest damage in this game, 5,227 hit points of damage from this one. And the next high scorer was the KV2 with 2,378, followed by the IS with 2,098. When it came to kills, he had the highest number with 6. The SU-152 and the KV2 both got 2 kills apiece, and so did the Love on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, oh, look at this. Massive amount. 2,058 base experience points from this game. That's a massive score. He did very, very well in the 703, which is very difficult to play. As I said, it's that problem is that gun depression. It's only 5 degrees. It really is a pain sometimes, especially when you roll over a bump and the gun leaps into the air and you can't get it to light on the target. 1,044 base went to the KV2 and 816 went to the SU-152 on his team. He fired 18 rounds in this game, got 15 direct hits and 15 penetrations on the enemy. 5,227 hit points, all of it at close range. 16 hits received, only 4 of which penetrated. 12 non-penetrations and block damage of 2,860. He spotted 8 enemy vehicles, damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 6 and did 2,218 hit points of damage assistance. I think in this case it was spotting assist most of the time. On a free-to-play account, he earned 111,993 credits, got 55,997 credits off personal reserves, and 22,399 from battle payments. I think that's actually holiday ops. Total of 190,389 credits altogether. After repair and ammunition resupply, and yet again, only firing standard ammo, he took away 163,180 credits profit. He earned 2,058 base XP from this game, got 206 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 2,264 experience points altogether. So 2 really great games in this Object 703-2. It's a tank that a lot of people do have in their garage, but not everyone can get the best out of them, and really the standard has been set very high by the players that went before, and it means that if you want to get an ace tanker, you really do have to get quite a few medals to get it. So you have to put a lot of effort into it, and that can be difficult as well. Having the fire control, not to fire too soon before you let that reload go through, to make sure that you got the best DPM from the tank. Remember, if you fire both barrels together, you get that penalty of having to wait a second before you can actually then start the loading process. If you fire sequentially, you've got to restart the loading process all over again for the first gun and then get the second one in. But of course, if you've got good self-control like OrcaSpiderJay and Zyriakster, then you can let the reload go through and then hammer the enemy with another round fairly quickly, and you've always got that double barrel shot in reserve if you need to, and that can really scare the enemy, because they obviously expect to get hit for 780 hit points. But if you've got an enemy in front of you and you know that you can take them down with a double barrel shot, it can make that part of the game much easier, because you just wait for 2 shells to go into the barrel and take them out of the game. So I hope you enjoyed them. If you did enjoy these replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.